this path keeps flicking from really dry and fine, like here, to really wet wherever all the leaves are. All the leaves have like turned to mush. I was planning on cycling today. I've got to go get my hair cut. And I left the house and I'm like, it's actually drier than I thought it would be. Let's longboard. I know that like, it's going to do a bit of damage to my wheels because of the leaves. Should be enough dry bits to like dry them relatively rapidly because I'm trying to go fast wherever it's dry. Yeah, as the weeks go on, opportunities to longboard diminish. So I'm more willing to risk my bearings. I'll buy more bearings before I have to actually do something. You know what I mean, next year. And I mean, like the beginning of next year, I'm intending to buy my electric one. So I have to buy the one with the off-road wheels on as well, so that I can use it in weather like this. Whoa! Real windy today, and you can hold me to that promise as well, by the way. I've been saving up for long enough, and I definitely want it. And I reckon I can get to work quicker. I can spend less money on commuting. It's all about that. Though we did have a health and safety warning go out the other day about using certain types of chargers. You're not allowed to charge e-cigarettes at work because the battery might explode. Do you think the same rule that applies to that might apply to an electric skateboard? I don't know. It is legitimately stopping me. I'm going down a hill and it stops me. Got that sorted and I bust back because it started to rain. And I was looking around for some bread in town because we always like to buy a nice blooming good bloomer loaf. But all the ones in the locals weren't very good, so I ended up going to Morrison's and buying one. But that's really nice because it's like a salt and black pepper one. It's delicious. But anyway, came back and just kind of did a bit of chilling, had some dinner, also bought some more lights for the bathroom, which I'm going to sort out now. Before we went off to Bath, we picked a bad day to go to Bath, to be honest with you, because it was friggin' pissing it down with rain. Just like legitimately lagging it down. It's a pretty miserable day, to be honest with you. And we headed on, we just had like a bit of a walk around. I bought a belt amongst just like shopping around and perusing. We went to Dough, which is really nice if you live around Bath. A really nice pizza place. Laura bought back her pizza there, and the best thing is they do a pudding which is like lemon sorbet, which is my favourite ice cream / sorbet. I love it, in just literally in Prosecco, and it's so good. Otherwise, came back here feeling a bit fat. And we just watched the film, and now we're headed to bed. I'm trying different ways of waking up in the morning. I need to wake up at 2. I have Laura's Fitbit on. I'm going to try the alarm on this just to see how good this is. So this is going to go off 5 minutes before my actual alarm goes off, because I didn't get up last night at 2. I keep sleeping through my alarm. I think what the problem is I'm not transitioning, because I'm such a deep sleeper that my quieter alarms, which I have my normal alarm because I don't want to wake Laura up. So I have it just so it turns the light on and my phone goes off. That's not enough to wake me up enough to make me get out of bed. Like, I don't remember the alarm going off. I just wake up in the morning at 9 o'clock like, ah, shit. And I need to continue to get up at 2, otherwise I'm not going to get into the cycle. And like, I'm not transitioning in, I'm just finding opportunity to just sleep in and catch back up on sleep, which isn't good. I may as well not bother. Well, I may as well. To be fair, it's better than staying up till like 1 o'clock at night and then go to bed. But I still may as well not bother. I'm trying to get into this cycle properly. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this alarm. Although my heart rate is significantly higher than Laura's, which I'm not too proud of. Maybe that explains why my metabolism is so much better though. I don't know. Is that the way around it is? I don't know. It's very nearly 11. I need to very quickly brush my teeth and get into bed and go to sleep. I'm waking up at 2. Go do some work. I need to do things on my own project. I'm trying to do the email verification of landing page, and I also need to do something else. I'm trying to play. I might have to play with something, but that's not going to be on my laptop, so I might plan it tomorrow. We are going to demo a bit of tech to work, and I need to demo it in a different environment. So we're kind of demoing essentially Angular. I'm going to try and demo Angular inside a .NET Core application, but inside it, not communicating with it. I'm going to try my best and see if it's possible, because I know basically out of the 3 options, stick with the status quo, go full Angular in the middle, we just use Angular for one page where we need it. That's the optimal one. It's just whether or not that's a bit against the grain, you know. I vaguely remember that going off, but I actually mostly just remember it going off while my other alarm was going off, and I couldn't figure out how to turn off my other alarm. I couldn't wake you up. That's rubbish. I've heard that it's because it's the small Fitbit and it's not the bigger ones, but that's a bit shocking that. Anyway, let's go do some work. What do we want to do? Do we want to do angular or do we want to do normal stuff? Normal stuff for now. We'll see for now. I have registration all working. It's all jolly good fun. The problem, I do have a problem where the click to log in page I haven't routed properly, and because I haven't routed it properly, I discovered that if you were to then try and re-register your account, it would try to send you a new email and fail because I've got some validation on Sagas to make sure it doesn't send it twice, but I should stop it getting to that point. I shouldn't put a message on the bus and let the message on the bus fail. I should capture it before then. So I've got that little addition to make, and yeah, so that's been jolly good fun. I'm just going to head back for a 30-minute nap, hopefully not sleep in beyond that point. I have Laura's Fitbit on still. I'm going to be really interested to see what this says. If it's even able to like manage having 2 different sleeps in a day. It's going to be really bizarre, but I'll have a look at it when I wake up after this. Have it all sorted out. All we need now is a sign-in page and somewhere for it to dump you out to once you've been signed in. So that's what I'm going to do now. The identity server stuff, get that all plumbed in, live the goddamn dream on that front. I had a play, it's like mid-afternoon now, I've had a play with Angular without using Angular for the routing. Don't do it. So I feel like we're not going to win. We're demoing Angular as a replacement, as a potential replacement for MVC, but I don't think we're going to win. I don't think that's going to fly. But we shall try our best, otherwise we went out shopping a little bit. Laura's got some wool, doing some knitting, and I am settling down back into some programming before we do dinner and stuff. Still building out the logistics of signing in. It's not going, well no, I haven't had an awful amount of time today. I've only had like about 5 hours in total, including this morning, so I haven't had a huge amount of time progress there, but done all the usual Sunday jobs of ironing and all of that malarkey. Had some dinner, had a nap, watched good old fashioned Louis through. I think I forgot to mention that the Fitbit basically didn't tell me anything. You have to sleep for longer than 3 hours for it to have enough data to track your like sleep cycles. So all it could do basically was say asleep, restless or awake. That's the only 3 it's got. It doesn't know like REM or deep sleep or anything like that. So that's completely useless to me, which basically means I'm not going to be buying one because A, the vibration isn't enough to wake me up. B, the sleep tracking, the bit that I was actually interested in, doesn't actually track my sleep if I sleep the amount that I actually do. And C, I don't do enough exercise to do it. Also, I got a comment from someone who said that like, love the videos, but lose the sleep deprivation. For your health, man, sleep is good. Guys, it's supposed to be better for you, this sleep thing. I think at the moment for me it's not, because I've not managed to transition properly. I was also looking today when I went out shopping, looking for some kind of pillow I can take to work. I think not having that afternoon sleep is bad for me. I should have one at lunchtime. But I've not got to the point where I'm tired enough to do it. But I think that's part of the reason why I'm still not managing to transition in properly. Because technically for an everyman 3, it's something like 3.5 hours sleep at night and then 3 20-minute naps. I'm doing more like 3 and then 2 20-minute naps. There's a level of flexibility where if you've got all 3 naps then you can drop one without too much hassle. But yeah, so and that's what I was going to look into. They at the service stations they do this great big like hedgehog thing where you can like put your hands in it and like lie on it like a pillow. I think I might get one of them, but they're like £15 for Amazon, so I'm a bit of a tight bastard really. We're heading to bed now. I'm going to try my alarms. I'm going to actually put my alarm clock on this time instead of just relying on my phone. So the like screen that shows while an alarm's going off has changed. And for the past 2 days, I've just like panicked and just cannot get off that screen for my life. So much so that today, Laura just logged off. Laura turned it off. I didn't. I just had to spend like 3 minutes setting up a silent alarm and just being like, what goes on here? Why? I think I now have a better idea of how that screen works, but I guess we'll only find. The problem is, it's an alarm, so you only find out like as you've just waken up and you're like, fuck, what the fuck's going on here? I'm officially able to sign in. It persists my sign in, and then I've set it up so it just redirects to the default, which is Google at the moment. But I will have it so that it redirects to my portal, my secure portal. Oh god, I'm so happy that works. The thing with stuff like this is identity server and security stuff is like deliberately vague. If it ever throws an error for whatever reason, it's always a vague reason. It's like, it doesn't tell you why, kind of deliberately. And it's such a bastard to debug. That right there is progress. Like I say, now all I need to do is configure it up so that my web page can talk to it, which is going to be good fun. When I very recently had to do this at work again, and like there's always pain in the arse because you've got to kind of authenticate a client, and authenticating a client before you can then log in is so tedious, and it's even worse than that. So I'm like halfway there, but the next half is an uglier half. Look at this misty, rainy autumn rain. It's beautiful, man. Everyone always complains about this kind of weather, but I friggin' love it. It's so good. If anything, it's still too warm, because at some point today it's going to hit 17 degrees, which is silly. It should stay at around like 10 now, till winter. We have our little Angular demo today. In fairness, I'm not all that, I'm excited for it, but I'm not all that optimistic. I have these sessions on like every week at the moment where we like, because there's two separate teams where we collaborate on like different patterns that we've just decided on, or things like that. So the way that we manage queries and things like that all go through this session so that we all kind of have like the same approach and we learn from each other and all that kind of stuff. We've just started doing the front end, and we know that managing the front end used to be really hard. Like the JavaScript we had was insane just to do like really dumb stuff, and the front end that we're about to build is going to be way more complicated than it ever was. So we are pitching to go full Angular instead of this JavaScript Razor combo. Mostly because it makes the development and the management of the data on the screen much easier, but also because it'll be a good learning exercise and that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested in doing it. I don't think we're going to do it because it's a big shift. I've never played with Angular before. I've only had like the brief thing, but the contractor that I work with on my team, he has. He's the one doing this pitch, so it's going to be interesting. Like I say, I'm not expecting anything to come out of it. I think otherwise we were looking at Knockout and Vue, but Vue's also being investigated as well. So we're just trying to think of a better way of doing it, because last time it became unmaintainable very quickly. You know what? The demo went well. We had a good day today of just trying to like clear up stuff and trying to integrate things around and about, and built up towards this demo thing at the end of the day. We have like these community sessions where I think I've said, where we like define standards across the team, and we demoed the idea of using Angular for our like presentation layer essentially. Wasn't expecting it to go as well as it did. I was expecting it to just get like shot down immediately, but it's a case of we had like a really friggin' long discussion about it. There are pros and cons to stuff. I think if time wasn't an issue, we'd go for it, but time is a bit more of an issue than we'd like it to be, really. It's shopping night tonight, but I'm going to have a look into ways of testing it, which is relatively simple. Like unit testing it is relatively simple, I've seen, but testing it through, make sure that it works. Like, what else are we scared of? It's got its downsides and advantages. It's a question in my head. It's a question of whether or not the like hit to productivity as you learn a new framework is worth the potential, in my mind, speed up when you eventually, when you get good at it, and then you can just like blitz through some of the more complicated stuff. I'm expecting it to pay dividends later. But yeah, so to be honest with you, I still don't think we'll get it through. But we tried our best. It's one of them things where like you either suggest it now when it makes sense to, or you forever keep your tongue. And the person whose idea it was basically to pitch it basically said, like our I'll feel forever guilty if I let us do something that I think is not the best thing to do. If you know what I mean. Sometimes you've got to suggest things if you think that you're currently going down the wrong path, because at some point it's going to be too late. And there's no point saying I told you so if you never said it in the first place, you know? Yeah, so that like floored the session. I'm going to have a look in phase 1, which is what we now call the time between 2 and 6, phase 1. I'm going to look in phase 1 about some of the stuff, basically the testing aspects of it, and something else. I know the integration with identity server was a simple bit. What was I thinking of? Whether or not we sit 2 APIs. The question is whether or not our data API is going to be good enough to sit like directly in front of it. But that's going to be that. Otherwise, maybe I'll get on some time to go onto my own stuff, which I'm integrating my first web stuff. Anyway, words, things, stuff, shopping night tonight, so all that stuff. I turned my alarms off without even waking up last night, so I completely missed the opportunity to look into Angular stuff. So, what I need to do is start having my lunchtime nap. I'm trying to do Everyman 2. What I'm essentially doing is Everyman 2, but with the sleep cycle of Everyman 3, with the core sleep of Everyman 3, and it's not enough. I need to force myself into having that lunchtime nap. So, I've Amazon primed myself a pillow that I can use, which is like this big, soft toy, basically. It's like a teddy bear that you can like put your little hands in, keep warm as you go to sleep. And I just need to try and get into the habit of actually napping at lunchtime and actually doing the sleep cycle thing properly, and not trying to be a fucking hero and doing it better than advertised. Get my fire marshal outfit on, boys. Forgot to mention yesterday, guys, we are now with them. End of the sprint today, and we managed to finish off the thing that we were working on. Well, I'll say that we demoed half of what we had, and we finished the rest. We've just got like minor. It took us a while to figure out why the styling wasn't being picked up, and it was because we've deployed to a different environment, and the CDN is pointing at the wrong environment, which cocked us for a little bit. So we couldn't demo what we wanted to demo, but we finished the sprint. We did all right. Start the next sprint tomorrow. Laura is at a netball game, like an actual like game, this time with work, because it's Tuesday. She normally goes Wednesdays. So I'm going to have myself some dinner, and then I'm going to get into some work until I have to pick her up. But she's not back late, so I don't have all the time in the world. Nap for me today, and I would be napping, but I slept like normal last night. Start again tomorrow, and start having naps at lunchtime, because hopefully my pillow will be here. I want to get a lot of time to do some work, so I just did some tidying up and some unit tests for work, and yeah, we've got like a little bit of fine tuning to go with. Now we were using the actual search bar from like the UI guy. It's not, the model binding's all broken, so that needs to be sorted out. So yeah, damn things I've got to remember to push up tomorrow. Still got planning though. Anyway, 2 o'clock in the morning, I am hoping to be able to get up and, well no, definitely I'm going to be getting up and sorting out my register, like linking up registration with the front end, and then I've got to create like the beginning bit of the secure web, and like kind of work that, because it kind of like, I've got like a public facing thing, and then you like log in, a bit like Azure, if you're, or other things like that, but there's like a public facing thing which you can use, normal people can use, then when you get an account you log in through a portal, and then you get through. Job done. That's my plan. One thing I do want to figure out without like too much difficulty is I want, as soon as you like log in, maybe I do it at the login stage. I would like from that point on figure out whether or not I have all your information. So when you register an account, you just give me like dumb information, and then I want to figure out how to funnel you one way if you need to like give me like your name and that kind of stuff, or funnel you past that point if you're not. But I guess you do that from the security service. Security service would decide which one to forward you want to, based on that, rather than having like listeners in every single controller method. Yeah, well, there you go. As soon as I was wondering how to do that, and as soon as I said it out loud, I figured it out. I'm up. I'm pretty tired, but I'm up. I'm going to try and reset now. So, up until now I've been sleeping between 3 and 2, and then I've been having a 20-minute nap at basically 6, and basically 6:30 in the evening. Starting from now, I'm going to go to what I'm supposed to do, which is go from 11 till 2 till 6 till about 12 till about 6, which is 3 naps. What I have been doing is 11 to 2 that way. That's every man 2, and that means that your core sleep at night isn't supposed to be 3 hours, it's supposed to be like 5 or 6. And then you have an hour. So every man 3 like only saves you like an hour's worth of time. I've been doing every man 2 is only supposed to save you like a little bit of time. The more naps the better. I've been missing out on the lunchtime nap because I haven't been able to sleep at lunchtime. Today, I'm just going to fucking try. I think that's why I've been struggling to transition. If I haven't made that clear already. Basically, I've been doing this, but without that nap. Whereas, what that really should be is this, which is a bigger core sleep. So, what we want is to have that nap, boy. Anyway, I'm getting into programming. Leave me be. I've woken up now. I'm about 15 minutes earlier than I should be this morning. We had a productive morning. I've spun up a new, well, I got everything configured. I've spun up a new endpoint on my microservice so that I now have a secure, like kind of secure portal and a public web. There's like no authentication on it yet. That's what I'm going to do. In fact, I finished a little bit early and just read for like half an hour because there was no point diving into Identity Server that early in the morning. That is the next plan, is to configure Identity Server so that it can all be set up and whatnot. It's going to be good fun because I'm not used to how that works with Mongo, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to be good fun, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so productive morning, had a good nap as well, and I know I had a nap because I dreamt and woke up because of a dream. I dreamt that I'd well, not witnessed a crash, but saw someone crashed on a motorbike in a country road, and I was like, oh god, you know, as it is. But then as I woke up, I was like, oh my god, and then I was like, oh shit, I was asleep. So that was good. Because I often think that I don't sleep properly when I nap, and that's half the battle. I'm going to try and have a nap today at lunch. Like I say, that's the plan. Partially hoping that the pillow that I'd ordered would be here before lunch, but it does not look like it's going to be. So, unfortunately I won't be able to use that until tomorrow, but you know, otherwise we have a little bit of finessing to do on our story at work, a little bit of finessing, a little bit of testing to do, and I don't think I can go the normal way because of that fire yesterday. A little bit of testing, a little bit of finessing. We've also got planning, so that's probably going to kneecap us a little bit, but it's going to be a good day. Lunchtime, and I'm going to go pick up my pillow because I don't think I won't have time to pick it up otherwise today, but I'm also trying to make myself tired. So I'm walking around like this, I'm like, dry your eyes out, Jimmy, make yourself feel tired. Well, this is a little creepy. Not even 7:30 and it's black. It's so dark outside. What is going on? I'm gonna start needing lights. The clocks haven't even gone back yet. Blimey. I just did this sick move where I was cycling, I was like pushing too fast. I was going way too quick. And then I went like over the front of the board, carried on running, waited for the board to overtake me, jumped back on again, boom. Had a pretty good day today. We sorted out planning, we nailed some pull requests, we've got everything in pull requests now. We even managed to finish a story that we planned because it'll be a lot less overhead just to add it to the current branch than it will be to test this branch and start it again and all that kind of good stuff. So we did really well today, it's got to be said. You know when you're like coming down the path, and I appreciate I'm dressed in all dark, so I can't really talk, but coming down the path there's a dog walker on the right hand side of the path. I'm on the left hand side because if you're walking, and he's going the same way as me, if you're on the path like that, you go on the left, dog person, by the way. So anyway, I'm going down, cyclist is coming the other way. It's clear that I'm going to get to the dog person first. So inevitably, he speeds up, hits the dog person the same time I do. I literally dipped a wheel in mud. 2 wheels on the left hand side of my board in mud, not to hit him. Like, could you just slow down a bit? If you're gonna, don't speed up. That's the worst thing. Don't speed up just to dick me over. Oops. That was, the snooker place was out of, like it's being all renovated and stuff downstairs. Like looks like the ceiling had collapsed in on a snooker bit. So we went to a bar instead, which inevitably means that we end up staying later than we normally do. When you've got to like keep putting pounds in a machine, you become aware of how long you've been there for. But when you just sat around a table, just chatting the world away, that's less so. But yeah, it's still a good fun. Good old snooker sesh with 0 snooker in it. Laura's very kindly giving me a lift home, and I'm trying to get to bed before past. Oh gosh, I'm going to end this video here because it's getting a bit long. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I'm going to sort this video out in the morning before I go to work. We're going to make sandwiches as well. I think this time's morning session is going to be relatively less productive because I'm going to sort out a video. I need to make my sandwiches and stuff. I might like front load that so I don't have to rush around as much in the morning. Depends really, I don't know. I've had some wine, so failing that I have some identity server stuff that I need to work on. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you later, I guess.